Hi there, welcome back to Good Morning Sports Fans. We start this hour with some breaking news. Let's get straight to Everton and our reporter Vinny O'Connor.
But it should be said here that after Manchester United signed Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford in a fee worth £71 million, their focus has been on player sales. We know Marcus Rashford has joined Barcelona on loan with an option to buy for around £26 million. But now United are working on other exits, Jadon Sancho, Anthony, Tyrell Malacia, as well as Alejandro Garnacho. So Aston Villa interested in Alejandro Garnacho, Manchester United interested in Ollie Watkins, one of a number of strikers that they are looking at, and initial talks have taken place between the clubs. Aston Villa and Manchester United have happened over Ollie Watkins potentially going to Manchester United and Aston Villa having an interest in the Manchester United forward Alejandro Garnacho. Now, we have been reporting throughout this transfer window that Manchester United do want to bring in a number 9. Now, this is regardless of whether Rasmus Højlund remains at the club or not. They have been exploring the conditions of deals of various strikers, including Villa's Ollie Watkins, including Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson and RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, who the focus now, I have to reiterate from Manchester United's perspective, is player sales. They want to generate some money so that they maybe can go again in this transfer market. But we have been saying throughout this window that they are in the market for a striker. They are in the market for a number 9, and that's regardless of what happens with Rasmus Højlund, because there has been a bit of talk about Italian clubs interested in Rasmus Højlund. But whether he stays or goes, I think Manchester United would want to strengthen in that position. We've been told that initial talks have taken place with Aston Villa over Ollie Watkins and are understood to value him in the region of around £60 million. But there is a lot of interest in the England international. As for Garnacho, Aston Villa, we know, are keen on the player. United clearly want to sell Garnacho, but as it stands, Villa cannot meet the demands that Manchester United would put on a transfer fee with regard to Garnacho. We've always said as well that Garnacho's preference is to stay in the Premier League, but he does want to play in the Champions League. Villa, of course, won't be in the Champions League next season, and as yet, Chelsea, even though they are interested in Garnacho and they are in the Champions League, there hasn't been that formal approach to Manchester United as yet. Now, look, we do know that Manchester United are interested in Watkins and Villa interested in Garnacho, but they would be two separate deals rather than a swap deal, even though we do know that one going to Old Trafford and the other one going to Villa Park, they would be helped because the talks would be ongoing. With regard to Sesko, the interesting one here is that the recruitment director at Manchester United is a gentleman called Christopher Vivell, and he's the one driving the interest in Sesko, because when Sesko was 16, Vivell was the sporting director at Red Bull Salzburg, and he brought him in to that club. Hence, there is that long-running interest. But if you look at what United have done so far in this window, I mentioned Cunha and I mentioned Mbeumo. What they do have in common is that they've got Premier League experience. Now, I just wonder whether Manchester United have looked back in the last few transfer windows and thought, when we've gone abroad for the likes of Højlund, Xerxes, Anthony, hasn't worked. We maybe need players who hit the ground running straight away. So hence why they've got these two players in their mid-20s, arguably at their peak of their powers, and who have performed really, really well in this league already.
After a dismal campaign that resulted in a 15th place finish in the Premier League and left the club without European football for the first time since the 2014-15 season, Manchester United will hope and expect for bigger and better things in the upcoming campaign. And while Amorim has already spent up the funds at his disposal on two new signings in Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, a number of key sales will give the boss license to further strengthen his squad. That's why Man United have cooled their interest in signing Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez this summer, according to reports. The Red Devils' summer transfer business is well underway, with Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe providing Ruben Amorim with the funds to improve his squad, although they are struggling to offload some of their excess players. As well as the attack, there have been rumours linking Man United with new goalkeepers, including Aston Villa stopper Martinez. Man United see Emiliano Martinez loan bid rejected by Aston Villa. Reports earlier this week claimed that Man United had made a shock bid for Martinez and a loan proposal put to Villa officials but was met with incredulity and rebuffed immediately. And now Argentinian publication Clarín has revealed that Man United have cooled their interest in Martinez and an exotic destination appears on the horizon. Man United doesn't want to pay the $50 million release clause, and the possibility of the goalkeeper leaving the Premier League and deciding to accept a tempting offer he received from Saudi Arabia is beginning to be floated. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is reported to have put his foot down after cancelling a planned move for Aston Villa's Emiliano Martinez for two reasons, leaving a determined Ruben Amorim to settle on a new top choice to join Manchester United as a new goalkeeper this summer. To that end, David Ornstein revealed earlier this week that Amorim has three main ambitions left this summer: a new goalkeeper, a holding midfielder and a new number 9. As far as a new goalkeeper is concerned, Amorim knows that much depends on sales. But with the much-maligned Andre Onana digging his heels in and refusing to entertain a sale, United are now likely to alter their stance on bringing in another stopper. Despite that, a report earlier this week revealed United had made a cheeky opening inquiry to sign Aston Villa star Martinez, who is understood to be very much open to a move to Old Trafford this summer. However, after launching a loan offer for the World Cup winners' services, it was reported that an incredulous Aston Villa had very quickly sent United packing. And after Villa responded by sticking a £40 million, €46 million, $54 million price tag on his head, the Manchester Evening News has revealed that Ratcliffe has told Amorim to forget any hopes of his signing, with a budget for a deal, nor room at the club for his giant £200,000 a week wages, making a move entirely implausible. In a simple 31-word explanation, they wrote, "A potential transfer for Emiliano Martinez has been dismissed." United aim to avoid raising their wage bill, especially since Martinez signed a new contract with Villa last year worth over £200,000 a week. As a result of that, Fabrizio Romano has now revealed that a change of tack at Old Trafford will now see Amorim target a move instead for Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Sen Lammens.